Emergers, it's your girl Q Talks, and we are back for another conversation alive with one of Emerge's featured designer, of course, Dr. Maurice Gattis. He is the founder of the brand Fort Mose 1738. 1730. Okay, I'm really excited to talk to him today because his collection was inspired by if you guys know your history, Fort Mose, which was literally the first settlement for Black people. So I'm really interested in hearing his story. He also talked about how he took a trip with his mom to West Africa and he stayed with a taxi driver and they gift him clothing, and that's what inspired his brand. So we're definitely going to hear more about it. Oh, thank you, Loria. I miss you, girl. Can't wait to see you during Fashion Week and soon. So definitely, you guys, let's get him in. Let's get this conversation started because I need to know a little bit more about my heritage as well. So let's get him in. So let's see once he taps in with us, because he reading his story and reading a little bit more about him, he's definitely all about the culture. Well, hello, Dr. Maurice. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How about you?
I am great. I am excited to talk to you today.
I'm looking forward to the conversation with you as well.
Okay, so we read your story. We know that, well, first, before we even start about fashion, you have a PhD in what?
I do. I have a PhD in social work from Washington University in St. Louis.
We got a doctor designer, you guys. Okay, Dr. Maurice Gattis. Am I saying that correctly?
That's correct. Thank you for asking.
Of course. Okay, so now we're going to dive into your story because I read a little bit about you. I heard you took a trip to West Africa. First thing first, you do a lot of things with your mom. You take a lot of trips, which is amazing. And then that inspiration from the trip, that inspired a lot of your cultural colors and patterns, and you got into textile, from social work to textile. How did that happen?
Yes, so the story is I was on vacation with my mom. We went to Ghana to sort of, look at historically and just enjoy sights. And I hailed a taxi from the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Garden to take us back to the hotel. And the taxi driver took us to the hotel, and he eventually became our driver for the time of our trip. And about the fifth day while we were there, I said, Nathaniel, I'd like to have some clothes made. And he said, my wife makes clothes. So long story short, I designed some clothing. They made them for us. When I got back to the U.S., Nathaniel and I kept in touch, and he wanted to sort of do business. He actually wanted me to sell ginger, and I said, I have a full-time job. I have no interest. But then he said, how about clothes? And I said, well, if I can sort of design and tell you what I want and you make, then we can make it happen. So I hired a lawyer, got an LLC, and the rest is history.
Wow. So your clothes is literally being made in Africa and then shipped to New York.
So our
Well,
clothes, yeah.
America.
Yes, so they are actually made in Accra, Ghana. We do cotton pieces as well as kente pieces. So the kente pieces are hand woven, and the cotton is 100% cotton. And so, yes, it is a fusion. It really is sort of thinking about merging sort of Western silhouettes with West African prints and textile heritage textiles, and sort of reimagining who we are, what we are, and reconnecting.
Well, talk
Yeah,
about authenticity.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And, and the moment we left, I was getting ready to leave Ghana. Actually, I showed Nathaniel my passport to show him that my middle name is actually Nathaniel as well. So,
It was made in the heavens. It was supposed to happen.
yes,
Supposed to.
yeah.
Wow. So did you just leave your social work life behind and was just like, you know what, I'm full on with this fashion? Or are you still in social work?
No, this is the fashion is a small piece. I'm a full-time professor, associate professor with tenure at Virginia Commonwealth University School of Social Work. So Fort Mose 1738 is my weekends, my evenings, that piece. Yeah.
Weekends and evenings, and now you're on Emerge. This is a good weekend job. Wait a minute.
Yeah. Having a really good time, and really it's really nice to connect with people in Ghana, really connect and share the story here in America. It's fashion and it also teaches people things, right? Sometimes people compliment my clothes and I mention the brand and they say, where was Fort Mose? And I say St. Augustine. And they're like, I didn't know that. So it has this really interesting story and it's just really been a really fun journey.
Yeah, let's talk about that. I was saying Fort Mose. So Fort Mose.
Fort Mose,
Can you
yeah.
tell me a little bit? That goes to show you that my history. I'm still in American history. Learn more about it. But why Fort Mose, 1738? That's there's a song about that. Why Fort Mose? What made you decide? You know what? I really want to tap in the culture and the history together.
Absolutely. So I was born and raised in Daytona Beach, Florida, which is about 45 minutes to an hour, depending on traffic, drive from St. Augustine, which is where Fort Mose is.
Okay.
Growing up, I knew nothing about Fort Mose. I had not been taught about it. But about in 2018 or so, I went to St. Augustine, and the tour information desk said, you may be interested in Fort Mose. It wasn't even listed on the map, and she sort of drew a picture and circled, like, it's go there. And, I went and realized it was the first free black community in America, founded in 1738. Captain Menendez was sort of the leader of Fort Mose. And no, hadn't learned that. When I was trying to think of a name for the clothing company, I was sort of at a loss, kept brainstorming, and I thought, Fort Mose is a fusion, right? Because the residents of Fort Mose are formerly enslaved people from West Africa, right? And so bringing that, and I'm a descendant of slaves. So thinking about what would it look like to reimagine that, right? Like I can't, we have to accept that our ancestors were enslaved people. I accept that I'm
Mm-hmm.
fully American. And so just kind of reimagining that, what might that look like? Which is even why the logo has the idea of what Captain Menendez has been represented as looking like with the clothing from West African textiles. They have, of course, been stripped from that, but like, let's reimagine that. Like, had they not, let's move forward with that. And so that's kind of the inspiration behind it.
We all just got a history lesson, you guys, from Professor. So I hope you guys took notes because I'm saving this video. I'm learning. So Captain Menendez, like I didn't even know these people. Oh, my husband's gonna be so happy. He is a history buff. Okay,
Okay.
let's get into Emerge. Okay, so tell me, first thing first, is Nathaniel coming to the show as well? Are you flying him out?
No, Nathaniel
Uh,
will be in Accra, unfortunately. Yeah, no, Nathaniel and his wife Faustina, they will be in Accra. Yeah.
okay, no problem. So tell me, what do you have for us for this collection this year for the runway show?
Yeah, so this year the collection is called The Kingdom of Happy Land. And it's inspired by the novel Happy Land, which is about a community of people who were released from slavery and they founded this Kingdom of Happy Land in 1817. And it was
Okay.
based on communal principles. And there's a current novel about it. And so it's just the novel has a lot about like the garden and some of the clothing and the importance of Sunday and just sort of thinking about what this community would look like. It's not to actually represent, but it's kind of like use this imagination of there was a king, there was a queen. They talk about the buttons on the shirts and the dresses. So just really looking at that. And the collection is, like I said, 100% cotton and hand woven
And
kente. And some of the pieces combine the two. And the collection spans from very casual, like shorts and short sleeve shirts, to very formal suits and formal dresses. So it's a real representative collection. Just like I said, kind of reimagining this life, staying on brand, thinking about fusing cultures, original heritage textiles, and some contemporary silhouettes.
I look at your collection on a regular basis, going through your social media page. Your photo shoots are amazing.
Thank
So
you.
I see you have like definitely tailored looks. I definitely see the cultural attires there. Of course, the prints for sure. So you're going more on the evening side. It seems like.
Yeah, so yeah, we're doing both. This collection does
Okay.
have a few evening pieces, and we do have, like I said, some casual pieces. So it's a fusion of both suits,
Oh,
formal
okay.
dresses, casual dresses, some jumpsuits. So it's a sort of a trying attempt to do a comprehensive collection so that hopefully you'll see something in the collection, if not everything that you like, or realize like, oh, I could wear those shorts, or I could wear that suit in an evening, or that dress is very nice. So yes, that's
I
their piece.
So now I need to know: is there a color scheme for your prints? Are you having something special? Like, what are you having this fabric specially made and shipped over already? Has it been shipped?
Yeah, thank goodness. The last packet from the collection arrived last night. It was lost and in upstate New York and all around, but it was delivered last night. So the whole collection is here, thankfully. And one thing you will see, not in every piece, but you will see a lot of gold.
Okay,
Yes, you'll see a lot of gold, some gold shimmery threads in the hand woven kente. You'll see bright colors, you'll see oranges, you'll see, so it's kind of these pops of color that will emerge.
but as you know, I love a pop of color on a very dark skinned girl like myself. So I'm
Yeah,
excited to see this.
yes, and you're on theme with the gold. It has the gold. There you go.
Uh, I had to, and mind you, I changed my shirt 3 times. I was like, no, this doesn't look good on camera. No. So it was supposed to be. Look at, we're all connected for a
That-
reason.
That's right. All for a reason. Absolutely.
I love
Yeah.
it. So for those who are interested in purchasing your collection or seeing more about your collection, where can they find you?
Okay, we have a website at www.fortmose1738.com. So that's FORTMOSE1738.com. And then on Instagram, we're Fort Mose 1738 brand.
I did have a question with your fabric and stuff being shipped over. Are you affected by this new fashion tariff?
Yes, yeah, there's an impact of that. But yes,
So that means your brand is getting more expensive.
we'll see.
Listen,
Let's see
I'm
how it
not upset.
proceeds.
I get it. If you guys want to get Fort Mose 1738, you have to be ready and be sure to know that you will be culturally standing out because his collection is amazing. I'm
Thank
so
you.
excited. I can't wait to meet you in person. I really can't.
Yeah.
So if you guys get a chance, if you did not get your tickets yet, make sure you get your tickets. You have to get it at emergerunwaynyc.com. As you, that's the only way you can see Fort Mose. And are you selling some of your pieces right on the runway that day?
They could be available for purchase on the day, but they're on the website. So,
Oh,
yeah.
so everything will be available on the website that day.
It's not that day, but shortly thereafter.
Ooh, you
Shortly
are
thereafter.
quick. You are quick. Okay, so make sure you guys get your ticket. Are you inviting any friends, families, anybody coming over with you?
Yes, yes. People are coming up. I live in Richmond, Virginia, but people are coming up from Louisville, Kentucky. Friends that live in New York City. So people are traveling up to see the show.
Are you bringing mom? Because I want to meet mom. You travel with mom a lot.
She won't be able to make it this time, unfortunately. Yeah,
Okay.
but
Every story I read is like my mom, my mom. I was like, I need to meet mom. Mom is
yeah,
famous.
yeah. She's in Daytona Beach, Florida. Yes.
Okay. I cannot wait to meet you. I can't wait to see your collection. Make sure you guys get your tickets. The show is September 16th, and we are at the Lehman Ballroom. I'm so excited. I was gonna call you Fort Mose, but Dr. Maurice. I gotta call you by your doctor name. You work hard for it. Thank you for the history lesson for sure.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for your interest and your energy. And I look forward to meeting you in New York as well.
Of course. See you soon.
See you soon. Okay.
All right. Till later. Bye.
Okay. Bye bye.